You mentioned Kelly Shake, like
Mm-hmm.
he's changed that game of boxing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of fighters are starting to fight a lot more regular now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's able to make them fights happen very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the past,
Mm-hmm.
talks would happen,
Mm-hmm.
get postponed. You'll have a different fight. I'm waiting too long. What do you think of him and what he's doing for the sport and the way the sport? Yeah, we've had Wembley Stadium, a big event there, but a lot of it's happening in the Middle East. Like, what do you think of boxing moving away from the UK?
It's all about money. Boxing's all about money, and if the money's in the Middle East, that's where the fighters are gonna go. If the money's here, it's where the fighters will go. And it's good for boxing because now the fighters are getting paid what they should get paid, whereas we've been fighting for chicken change for such a long time. And this is why the fights don't happen because there's not enough money in it. But now, you know what Seiku's doing? He's saying, I'm going to pay you guys what you deserve. This is why we get the best fighting the best. You got Deontay Wilder fighting a heavyweight. He's got Usyk fighting AJ. He's got the Fury against Usyk. He's got all these big fights happening
Mm.
because he pays the fighters what they should get paid, and it's good. And you know it's good for boxing, and you know, and I'm happy for the fighters. I'm very happy.
Every time you go into the ring,
Mm.
you are putting your life on the line.
Mm-hmm.
We've even had, you know, Michael who came on the podcast, Michael Watson,
Mm-hmm.
he came on the podcast, but obviously he had a fight with,
Mm-hmm.
Eubank and hit the ropes,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it? So that's, Nick Blackwell when
Mm-hmm.
he fought Eubank as well.
Mm-hmm.
These people have been seriously injured in
Mm-hmm.
the sport, and have they really been compensated?
Absolutely not. It's like, listen, in boxing, you fight a fight, you get brain damage or something happens, you're not the same. What they say is, yes, he was a good fighter. He gave us some good fights. Okay, cool. On to the next one. On to the next champion. People don't care about the fighters. The fans don't care. The fans, they want to get that one night of fix. They want to get the fighting fix and on to the next one. They don't care whether we get brain damage or not. There is no there's no governing body. Whereas if you get brain damage, they look after you and they give you money for the rest of your life if you can't work. That's not how it is. That's not how it is nowadays. You get brain damage, something happens to you. Well, you had a good run.
Yeah.
You got the belt. You got the name. People know you. You're a good fighter. Thumbs up. That's what it is. That's the reality.
That's what Watson told me as well. He was like, they didn't even call me back to these award ceremony. They would normally,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, it's done now,
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing,
Yeah. Boxing is brutal. Boxing is a brutal game, and people need to know what they're getting involved in. People need to know what they're getting involved in. Nowadays, people don't know what they're getting involved in.
Can I ask you, what was your toughest fight in the ring?
Taylor, when I fought Taylor, listen, I couldn't do what I wanted to do properly.
Mm.
I couldn't do what I wanted to do properly because I had too much lactic acid. I couldn't punch. My legs were gone early in the fight, and I was getting hit with so many shots. And then my nostrils, I couldn't breathe properly. I had a perforated eardrum because he caught me with a good shot in my ear.
Mm.
Oh, I hated that fight.
And so when you have that loss, like, how do you bounce back from that loss, that failure in your life?
If I don't bounce back, then what else am I gonna do? What else am I gonna do? I ain't been. I said I ain't got. I didn't do my GCSEs. I got kicked out of my secondary school. I got kicked out of my primary school. I don't know how to do anything. I've never worked a normal job in my life. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to use the computers. I don't know how to do the coding. I don't know how to be a businessman. I don't know how to. I've never worked in a job before. What else do I know how to do? But listen, you go back in the gym and you try again. If there was something else I knew how to do, maybe I would have said, you know what, this boxing shit's kind of hard, you know. I got something else. Let me go do that. There's nothing else there's nothing else that I know.
But
Nothing else that I knew.
how do you get up, O'Hara, and you're like, oh, I've lost yesterday, how do I restart now? Where do I go from here? Like, I've got a blemish on my record.
I don't know. You just gotta do. I just done naturally what I know how to do. All that I know is how to box, and the people they laugh at you, they write bad things about you. You just gotta walk through the pain. You gotta have thick skin.
And
You
were
can't
people
be taught.
trolling?
You can't be taught how to have thick skin. Either you got it or you don't have it. But if I didn't have thick skin, then what else am I gonna do? Keep boxing and do what? Boxing's all I know.
What about for men's mental health? Is there anything out there for you to talk to somebody? Because men don't, discuss their feelings or how they're feeling, or people go, "You're a pussy, bruv," if you're talking like that, rather than like women have circles where they're going, it's all right. Come to this thing. Let's talk about it. You know.
Boxing's a hard man's game. Boxing's a hard man's game. There ain't no mental health. We don't need no mental health. No, we need mental health. That's why we're in boxing in the first place. Because we're not meant to be right anyway. That's why we got into the game in the first place. Listen, boxing is such a barbaric sport. There's nothing that's gonna get you mentally prepared to go in there and do battle with another man in front of thousands watching that are coming to boo you and that cheer once you get knocked out, that want you to get knocked out, and you got to fight. There's no mental, there's nothing that's gonna help you prepare for that. You either got it or you don't. You just go in there and you fight. And it's the same thing. When you get beat, there's no one that's gonna sit you down and tell you something that's gonna make you feel good about your loss. No, you're gonna feel shit. You feel shit today, tomorrow you're gonna feel even more shit, and the next day you're gonna feel even more shit. But you gotta find it in yourself to get up from your bed and go to the fucking gym. Because if you don't, that's on you, and ain't no one coming to help you. You're on your own. You're by yourself. Yes, you got people there for you. I've got my friends and my brothers and my family. But what can they say? Ah, you got to be. You're gonna come back stronger. What are you gonna say? That's gonna make me feel any better. There's nothing you can say. Either I've got to find the strength for myself, or I'm gonna quit. That's it. There's nothing anyone can say.
Did you like playing the villain role, being hated?
I loved it because this is what my idols done. Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather. You know, when I look at Floyd, this is what these guys done. I wanted to be the villain. I wanted to get booed. I loved it. But now when I got older, I don't love it because it's not me. I'm not that villain. I'm just me. That's why now I'm just authentic now. I'm just me. Whether you love me, and I find out that I get loved now when I'm just me. Like people love me.
It's okay to be.
Yeah. People love me. But I got to a point where I've said, you know what? I don't want to be like my idols. I want to be me. I want to be myself, and that's what I am now. And the people love me because of they love me now because of it. But whether they love me or they hate me, I don't really care anyway. As long as my true friends love me and my true people love me, that's all I care about.
So what happens life outside of boxing now?
I don't know.
What's the
Listen,
2.0?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, I've got different opportunities. I've got different options and different opportunities there for me. There's always going to be there's always going to be a place for me in boxing. If I'm not in the ring, there's always going to be a place for me in boxing or outside of boxing. I've got different opportunities. I just got to look at what I want to do.
Mhm. You made some smart moves with some of your paychecks.
Yeah, I've got a few properties. Me and my brother. It's not just me. So we both went halves on them. So we've got a few now. My brother's been a big influence in my boxing career. He's the reason why I got into the property game in the first place because I remember being at our mum's house. I was gonna get the BMW i8, and he came to the house and he came to the room. And he was like, "Listen, I heard you on the phone. You're gonna go get the car and you're gonna park it outside mum's house. By tomorrow, the car will be gone." He said to me, "Why don't you go get your own flat and go park the car in your own flat in your own driveway?" Then a few days later, he said to me, "Listen, if you want to get a flat, I'll go halves for you." That's when I was like, "Okay, cool. I got the money to do it myself, but if you go halves with me, at least I ain't got to spend it all."
Mm.
So we went halves on the first flat. Then I had a fight. I got paid now. I said, "You know what? I'm gonna get the car now." Then I sat down. I said, "Wait, if I get the car, I've got to pay for the petrol, the car insurance. I've got to service it. The mileage on the car is gonna break down. I've got to pay it. But if we get another flat, that means we can put this flat on rent, move into that flat, and then we can make money." So I said, either I can spend money to make money, or I can spend money to spend money. I said, "Okay, cool. Let's get another flat first, and then I'll get the car after." Then we got another flat, and I had another flat after that. I didn't even think about the car since to this day. I ain't thought
That
about the car
passive
since.
income's coming in.
The passive income's good, and the property game is good, and that's my new passion now. I love the property game. I love houses. I love talking about property. I love learning about it. I love the property industry. This is a passion that I've got right now. I just need some more money so I can get some more.
Come on, bro. Got to get some of them properties refinanced,
That's it.
equity, put some more deposits down. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. That's it.
Look, you've been brilliant, but I want to before you kind of go and wrap this one up, I want some fight predictions from you. Hang on, what do you think of all of this influencer boxing?
If it makes money, it makes sense.
Yeah,
They put more eyes, to the game. More people are into boxing now because of the influence of boxing.
It's not disrespectful.
Uh, it's only disrespectful to the fighters that haven't. No, it's only disrespectful to the jealous fighters because they're looking at a KSI fight and they're saying in this guy's first fight he's making more money than I've ever seen in my life, that I'm ever gonna see in my boxing career. He's making more money than that in one fight.